corner of Maine and the old cobblestone. A striped pole still turns by a shop on its own. He draped the white cape over shoulders each day and listened to everything people would say. He knew all our secrets, he kept everyone. He trimmed away worry 'neath the afternoon sun. The mirror reflected 1,000 old faces, but never the man who stood in their places. He knew who was leaving and who'd had a fight, whose son had come home in the middle of the night. He'd nod and he'd listen and never let on, then sweep up the floor when the last one had gone. He knew all our secrets, he kept everyone. He trimmed away worry 'neath the afternoon sun. The mirror reflected 1,000 old faces, but never the man who stood in their places. Now the chair sits empty, the scissors hung still, the striped pole has faded out there on the sill. But somewhere a man runs his hand through his hair and remembers the hands and the warmth of that chair. If I had asked you just once, how are you today? Would you have told me the things you couldn't say? But we sat in your chair and we talked about us, and never once thought of the man we could trust. He knew all our secrets, he kept everyone. He trimmed away sorrow 'neath the setting sun. And I'd give anything now just to sit in that chair and ask him the questions I never thought to share. Before the town stirred and the roosters would call, he'd rise in the darkness and walk down the hall. He'd kindle the oven and knead the pale dough, while the rest of the world let their dreaming go slow. He gave us our mornings, warm, golden and round, the smell of fresh bread drifting over the town. But he never once sat at a table to eat, just dusted his apron and swept his flower feet. He'd shape out the loaves with his flower white hands and hum some old melody nobody understands. By the time that the sun climbed the edge of the hill, his work was all done and the street was still. He gave us our mornings, warm, golden and round, the smell of fresh bread drifting over the town. But he never once sat at a table to eat, just dusted his apron and swept his flower feet. Now the bakery's quiet, the oven is cold, the sign in the window is faded and old. But on Sunday mornings when the bread smell is near, we know it's just memory, but he feels so clear. If I'd come in just once before the sun rose, brought coffee and sat while the warm oven glows, would he have smiled in that way that he'd hide the man who fed mornings, had none of his own inside? He gave us our mornings, warm, golden and round, the softest of comforts this side of the ground. And I'd give anything now for one slice of his bread, to sit at his table and listen instead.
Smelled of pine shavings and linseed and rain. His hands were like maps of a life lived in grain. He built the church pew where the whole village prayed, and the door of the school where the children all played. He left his mark in every beam and board, in every joint and threshold, every floor. But no one carved his name above the door. The carpenter who built what we adore. twice over and cut with great care, and sand every surface till the wood became bare. He'd fit every mortise and tenon just right, then pack up his tools and walk home in the night. He left his mark in every beam and board, in every joint and threshold, every floor. But no one carved his name above a door. The carpenter who built what we adore. Now the church still stands and the school still rings. The tables he made hold our offerings, but the hands that built them have long since gone still, and the sawdust has settled on the windowsill. If I'd watched him just once as he raised up a wall, or asked him the name of the wood in the hall, would he have shown me the grain and the knot, and told me the stories that lumber forgot? He left his mark in every beam and board, in every joint and threshold, every floor. And though no stone was carved to say his name, the village that he built still speaks his fame. Lamplight workshop on the edge of the square, an old man bent low over gold beyond compare. He'd set every stone with a loop to his eye, and craft the small promises lovers would buy. He made rings for weddings he never attended. He shaped all the love that the jewels represented. His hands held the gold, but his heart held no ring. The goldsmith who fashioned each beautiful thing. He'd polish each surface till the light danced around, and fit every setting without any sound. A bride's name engraved in a script fine and clear, but never his own name on anything here. He made rings for weddings he never attended. He shaped all the love that the jewels represented. His hands held the gold, but his heart held no ring. The goldsmith who fashioned each beautiful thing.
The small jars of solder are open and dried, but somewhere a woman still wears on her hand the ring that he made her that no one had planned. If I'd asked you just once what you dreamed in the night, would you have shown me a sketch in the light? A ring you had drawn for a hand you once knew, but tucked in a drawer when that hand withdrew. He made rings for weddings he never attended. He shaped all the love that the jewels represented, and somewhere in gold that was melted and poured is the love that he carried but never once wore.
Down by the river, where the clay bank runs deep, an old man would rise from the lightest of sleep. He'd wedge out the clay with the heel of his hand, center it slowly, just like he had planned. He shaped us our vessels, our cups and our bowls. He touched every hollow that carried our souls. But the wheel kept on turning when his hands went still, and nobody carried the potter back uphill. He'd pull up the walls with a patience so rare, a lifetime of mornings, just him and the air. He'd fire each piece in the kiln overnight and open the door to the cool morning light. He shaped us our vessels, our cups and our bowls. He touched every hollow that carried our souls. But the wheel kept on turning when his hands went still, and nobody carried the potter back uphill. Now the wheel sits silent, the clay basin dry, the kiln in the yard holds the years gone by.
but somewhere a table is set for a meal, with a bowl that still carries the touch of his wheel. If I'd sat beside you and watched the clay rise, seen the bowl take its shape underneath your wise eyes, would you have told me what you put in each piece? The longing for something that never found release. He shaped us our vessels, our cups and our bowls. He put in each hollow a piece of his soul. And though his hands have gone back to the hill, the clay still remembers the warmth of his skill.
Before the frost settled on field and on fen, he'd shoulder his axe and head up to the glen. The forest would echo with each steady blow, while the village slept warm in the valley below. He felled us the timber that kept the cold out. He split every log without shadow of doubt, but the smoke from his chimney ran thin in the air. The woodcutter's fire was never quite there. He knew every tree by the sound of its grain, the oak and the birch and the ash in the rain. He'd stack up the wood by each door in the lane, then climb back alone to the forest again. He felled us the timber that kept the cold out. He split every log without shadow of doubt, but the smoke from his chimney ran thin in the air. The woodcutter's fire was never quite there. Forest grows quiet where his axe used to ring. The stumps in the clearing remember each swing. The village burns bright through the long winter night, on the wood that he cut by the old morning light. If I'd carried him kindling just once up the hill, or sat with him quietly, warm and still, would he have shown me the tree that he loved, the tall one he never could bring himself to cut above? He felled us the timber that kept the cold out. He gave us his winters without any doubt. And somewhere the forest still stands in his name, the woodcutter's trees growing tall just the same. Up on the hillside, where the cold wind blows free, an old shepherd walked where the whole town could see. He'd count every lamb as the morning grew bright, carry the lost ones back home through the night. He watched over hillsides that weren't even his. He gave every season to sheep that weren't his. The valley grew fat on the wool and the fold, but nobody asked how the shepherd grew old. He knew every face in the flock by its call, weakest young lamb and the proudest ram tall. He'd sit in the long grass and watch the clouds turn, with no one to talk to and nothing to learn. He watched over hillsides that weren't even his. He gave every season to sheep that weren't his. The valley grew fat on the wool and the fold, but nobody asked how the shepherd grew old. Now the hillside is empty, the crook leaning still. A lone crow is sitting at the top of the hill, but somewhere the meadow still carries his tread. The path
through the heather he quietly led. If I'd climbed up just once to sit by his fire and watch the sun sink below field and briar, would he have shown me the star that he named for the lamb that was lost and never reclaimed? He watched over hillsides that weren't even his. He gave us his lifetime for creatures like this. And somewhere the wind on the hill still will tell of the shepherd who loved every creature so well.
Before the gulls woke and the harbor turned gray, he'd push out his boat at the breaking of day. He'd read the horizon the way others read words, and pull up his nets to the cry of the birds. He filled up our tables with silver and salt. He braved every storm and he never once sought. But the tide always takes what it gives in the end. The fisherman's sea was his only true friend. He knew where the mackerel ran deep in the cold, and where the great currents would carry the bold. He'd mend his torn nets by the last of the light, then push out again to the pull of the night. He filled up our tables with silver and salt. He braved every storm and he never once halt. But the tide always takes what it gives in the end. The fisherman's sea was his only true friend. Now the boat sits in shallows where the barnacles grow. The nets in the shed have gone stiff in the cold. But somewhere out there, where the deep water bends, the
he still remembers the man it once knew. If I'd walked to the harbor one cold winter's dawn and waited beside him before he was gone, would he have shown me the scar on his hand from the rope and the net and the pull of the sand? He filled up our tables with silver and salt. He gave us the ocean without any fault. And somewhere the tide still rolls in with the dawn. For the fisherman's hands that are weathered and gone.
Lived on the water between here and there, with a coat full of river and wind in his hair. He'd pull through the morning and pull through the night, belonging to neither the left nor the right. He crossed every river, but never the one that leads a man home when his crossing is done. He lived on the water, between and between, the boatman who carried, but never was seen. He knew every eddy and every sandbar. He read the deep current like others read stars. He'd ferry the merchant and ferry the bride, then push back alone to the middle and ride. He crossed every river, but never the one that leads a man home when his crossing is done. He lived on the water, between and between, the boatman who carried, seen. Now the crossing is empty, the pole laid to rest. The river runs on without pause or protest. But somewhere mid-river, where the current runs deep, the water still carries the wake of his sleep. If I had asked you just once, which side was your home, would you have pointed to somewhere you'd known? Or would you have smiled at the water below and said that the river was all that you'd know? He crossed every river, but never the one that leads a man home when his crossing is done. And now he has crossed to the far quiet shore. The boatman has finally come home at last. He painted his face in the early morning light, a red crescent smile from the left to the right. He'd pull on his costume, his buttons, his shoes, and leave at the door all the things he would lose. He made the whole world laugh, but no one knew. Behind the white paint there was someone who had never been asked how he felt inside. The clown who laughed loudest was the one who cried. He'd tumble and stumble and fall on the ground and fill up the tent with that bright, silly sound. The children would shriek and the parents would grin, while something inside him grew quiet and thin. He made the whole world laugh, but no one knew. Behind the white paint there was someone who had never been asked how we felt inside. The clown who laughed loudest was the one who cried. One night after curtain, he sat in the chair and looked at the mirror, at the face painted there. He reached for the cloth and he wiped it away, and nobody recognized him the very next day. If I'd stayed after the show just one evening through and asked you to sit and to talk like we knew, would you have told me the name that you had before the white paint
and the laughter went sad. He made the whole world laugh, but now we know, behind the white paint and the bright circus show, was a man who just wanted someone to say, I see who you are, when you wipe it away. They found his costume folded neat on the chair, his makeup removed, his real face bare. Nobody knew what his real name was. Nobody thought to ask. That was enough.